Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome.
Hey, folks. Welcome, everybody. I see we got a lot of people in the chat so far. We definitely welcome everybody.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk. And as you can see, Jeff is not here today. And holy cow, that's cutting it close. I see our guest is here too. So that's awesome. I can see it in the background there, Joe. So I guess we better go ahead and get our paperwork or
Your housekeeping.
Housekeeping is what Jeff calls it. Of course, today's show is brought to you by your friends here at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, Jeff Monin, or Joe Veazey.
It ain't easy being Joe Veazey.
It ain't easy. So, Joe, I see you got your voted sticker on.
Yeah, I was happy today, man. Today was the first early voting.
Early voting here in Florida.
Yeah.
So make sure you get out there and vote, folks, because I always look at it when I find a military artifact, I always think, man, those guys served our country and left that behind for us. But we need to do our responsibility and get out there and vote for sure. No matter who you vote for, just get out there and vote. That's what I always say.
Absolutely.
It's our responsibility.
It was probably the most that I've ever seen at a precinct voting. I drove by there in the morning because I was going to vote this morning, and it was incredibly packed. I went by in the afternoon, and it was a little less of a crowd, but it still was about 35 minutes to go through the line and vote. But if you don't vote, you can't complain. So
I like to complain. So I'm always going to vote, Joe. So because I love to complain about stuff. So
absolutely, I know. I work for you on Saturday.
You work for me on Saturdays. So you know I like to complain. And yes, folks. Pardon? Jocelyn is here today. And she is here to take questions. So we've got an excellent guest tonight. And Joss, if you hit that button, I'll be able to read that because I can't read the screen unless. Yeah, Phil, you'll be happy to know that I wore your shirt at the Kodaha Treasure Fest #7 in Freesboro, Arkansas. Awesome. Glad you did it, my friend. Thank you. And I guess. With that, I got to remind folks that our Metal Detecting Club meeting, because of the hurricane, was pushed out another week. So Tuesday night, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, the West State Archaeological Society meeting is Tuesday night at Coincopia building at 7 o'clock. So if you'd like to attend that, or if you're a member, for sure be there. And we don't have a speaker because we lost our speaker because of the week we were off due to the hurricane. And it's going to be your favorite find night. So if you've got a favorite find, just bring it with you and you talk for a couple minutes about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that should be a good meeting for sure. Hope to see everybody there. And I know we've had a tough couple weeks because here at the shop, we were shut down for 10 days. We didn't have power. So it's kind of hard to work without power. And then at the house, we were out of power for, I think it was almost 6 days.
I was definitely out of power for 6 days for sure. And
yeah, that's a hard thing to do here in Florida, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it was a newfound respect for the terminology glamping. Luckily, I had gas for my stove in the house and gas to take a hot water shower, but I did not have any other power. So, shaving by candlelight and having to open up the windows to sleep. And look, I see somebody that's familiar.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I wonder
Yeah,
who that could be.
same last name. That's
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I guess before I keep running my mouth here, we ought to bring our guest on, the Key Day Kid. He makes the best shovels and diggers in the world, or at least in the United States. But I think he probably ships all over the world. I don't do that. I just here in the United States. But it's one of our favorite products here. Can you hear me, brother? Are you reading, or did you freeze up? Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I was waiting for the drum roll to
Okay,
bring.
do the drum roll. And
Brrrr.
hey, Casey.
There he
Hey,
is.
hey, hey.
Hey. We don't have Jeff here with us tonight because he's got other things he's doing. We had just a tough, probably with Jeff. He had to deal with Hurricane Helene too, but Joe and I didn't have much problems with Hurricane Helene, but we got clobbered by Hurricane Milton. Let's just
That's
say that.
horrible. That
And
I was born and raised here in Tampa, and to me, that was the worst devastation of a hurricane that I've ever seen in my entirety. I'm talking about massive oak trees were just toppled all over the roads. There was from the lakes that are around here flooding. It was crazy. And to top it off, we've got we're in a horrible economy. So with the economy and the storms and everything rolled in, and a lot of my accounts closing, it's not good. So I'm not on here to do a GoFundMe page, but kidding.
but, but go out and eat at a fine Italian restaurant if you're in the Tampa
Exactly.
Bay area. Joe will be thank you for that.
For
For
sure.
sure. Joe, his other job is I should say you're a sommelier. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a W set 3, which is equivalent to sommelier. I have that knowledge because I've been doing this for like 40 years. But it's a fun job. I really enjoy um, drinking and selling wine. So
There you go.
as
So,
much as I like metal
oh,
detecting and using Excalibur shovels.
yes, for sure. So, Casey, tell us what's going on at Excalibur Shovels.
Well, first I was wondering, I was like, why isn't Jeff answering? Why isn't Jeff answering me? But I knew, there's hurricanes out there. So I thought it was something to do with that. But I was like, man, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he just got his internet back, I think, yesterday or today. Maybe it was last night or this morning. But yeah, he's been without internet for a couple weeks. And it's just, it just was massive destruction from both hurricanes. So, but now he's also in the process. He's moving and selling a house and buying another house, and he's going to Europe too. So he might be out for a few weeks, but he'll be back for sure. We miss him because he runs all the software perfectly. So we got the Bush League or Bush team today because he does it excellent, and I'm the fill in on the software. If you don't do it every week, you just don't do it as well, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's like a repetition. You
Yes.
figure it out.
Just like with detecting. Use your detector over and over and over again, and then you start to get the feel of it. And you know what it is before you dig a lot of times.
Right. Right.
So tell us about Excalibur Shovels. Got any new products you're doing?
Well, we got this in the mail a couple weeks ago. And it is my patent on Excalibur shovels.
Awesome, brother.
The metal detectorist's shovel device. Is this that? There it goes.
There you go.
We can see it now. There you go.
Oh, that's
There's the
awesome.
bright light. That's awesome.
So I just awarded that. So I'm super stoked for it.
Well,
And
congratulations, Casey.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising, it's there's certain aspects that are patented. I know people are like, how do you get patent? But you put in the work and the efforts, and you can get a patent. Other things we got going on is we're adding in new things. It's always a continued journey to get better. Every day I go into the shop, it's about learning more and getting better at what I'm doing. And at this point, I've easily spent over 10,000 hours on Excalibur shovels. So they're really tuned in. They're getting even better. We are adding the ball handle to the website, so you can get a ball handle instead of a T or a D handle. Just want to put that out there for everybody. It'll be going up probably this week. The other really cool thing that I've been up to, you guys have really pounded me. I mean, I probably had 100 people ask me, they're like, can you do a camo? Can you do a camo on a shovel? And it's like, no, it's powder coat. You don't understand how this works. Well, I was like, all right. After like the 100th person, I'm all, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And this is my artist's example of camo. And you guys, it's going to be on the website under accessories.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
So you
look,
get yourself a nice camouflage shovel. I like to be seen when I'm out there, but if you want to blend in.
yeah, I did one of the digging in Virginia hunts years ago, and I swear I'm from Florida, but I was the only person that wasn't wearing camo. I thought, man, what do we got to do? Creep up on the relics or what? But some people, they love that camo. I know Joe loves camo, don't you, Joe? Because you're a hunter.
Yeah, I really I like to be concealed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is. Enough people wanted it, and I was like, all right, I'll figure something out. I want to deliver. I can't deliver on everybody's special requests, but some I can. I recently had a gentleman in Georgia. He asked me to put the swivel straps on the shovel. So I fabricated the shovel with the swivel strap brackets on it so he could put his strap on it. So there's some things I can do for people if they want to know or need it, but a lot of things it's not gonna work out. The engineering, just how it works, it doesn't work. So, but I'm always open to requests.
Okay, and we got a question here, Jocelyn, just popped up from Andrew T's Adventures. How big is the ball on the ball handle? That's a good question.
Yes. So what we're going to offer, well, we're testing out various sizes right now. So a 2-inch, 1.75 inches, and 1.5 inches. That's the 3 sizes that I've been testing recently. So that's what one of those 3 it'll end up being. Maybe I'll have multiple options, depending upon, sometimes people have gorilla hands and sometimes people have super tiny hands. So, if they want something smaller or larger, we could probably work that out for them.
Well, cool. So has a lot of people asked for the ball handle?
Yeah. I've had, I probably had 20 or 30 people ask for the ball handle. And I've had people, I probably had, and probably half of those 20 or 30 said, hey, I would buy one of your shovels if you sold one with a ball handle. So it's not my forte. It's not what I like, but if there's enough people that want it, I definitely offer that.
Oh, that's a good question too. Will you put the anti-slip dibbles on it also? On the ball? I don't know if that would work, would it?
I've thought about it. I haven't yet, but I have thought about it. I mean, it would look like a straight up mace, and it would look cool. And so I'll have to experiment with it to see how it works. And it's about getting those tacks just in the right penetration, get them to sink in a little bit so they're not so abrasive on your hand. And sometimes that ball handle material gets thick, so it's hard to penetrate a puddle through it so that it's not standing out so much, poking into your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is nice on the handle on your digger. That keeps the grip really well. If folks can see that.
Yeah, and that's, you're not going to have your handle fall off like
No,
some
spin.
guys are.
Yeah, some handles will spin too, or they come
They
off.
spin, and you're not going to have that. That's the point. My number one thing is I don't want to fail, and I don't want my shovel to fail you. So that's the goal, and that's why we're always investing in and researching on new materials. I've been experimenting with different types of high strength steels recently to get I want to have the best of the best. So the material I'm using now, I don't think anybody's using it, and it's on another level now, but it's expensive. So it's rough in that aspect, but when you're trying to be the best, that's what you do. You invest in it. So we got that, and various colors, and always trying to get the best powder coat, and just the best materials, and then reinvesting in tools too. Reshaping the blade. What is the suggested style?
I'm not following that question.
So what I would say is, if you want to do something to your spade, the best thing to do is to get a whetstone and use a whetstone on it, so that you can really sharpen it. But if you're
that's what he was asking. Yeah,
you're introducing heat, and therefore you are softening the material, and then it will get dull on you. And my shovels are designed to wear sharp. And my shovel, personally, I was just pounding through road base with it a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually sharper than when I fabricated it.
Yeah, that's what he was asking about. I saw he asked a question again about resharpening the blade.
Yeah, I use a whetstone. And then lightweight. Yeah, these are some of the lightest weight, all metal design shovels that you can find out there. They were, like the 31-inch T handle is 2 pounds, 10 ounces. I just did a 40-inch today. I weighed one, a 40-inch D handle with a wide, long spade, the spade that's 7 inches wide and 11 inches long. And I weighed that 40 inches with a D handle. D handles are about an ounce and a half heavier than a T handle. It weighed 3 pounds, 11 ounces for a 40-inch shovel with the giant spade on it. So they are, for being an all metal design, they are some of the lightest out there.
Yeah, the quality and craftsmanship that you put into your shovels is, I've never seen from any manufacturer do it as well as you do. I can tell you that up front.
Yeah, the thing is, I love doing it, and I love when I go to bed at night. What I fall asleep to is I'm like planning in my head, and things that I'm going to do in the shop with the shovels, and then I kind of replay the day in my head too of what I did with the shovels. And most of the time it's at least 5 days a week. Sometimes I go 7 days a week. Well, often I work 7 days a week doing this. But it's, when you do something that you're passionate about, it's not necessarily work. It's a vacation, because I love my occupation.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, and I just was looking at the comment Jocelyn posted up from Sam Truckley. She said, Angie, I let a child use mine at a silver shootout, and he did great with it, and he was 11. So they must be lightweight, and they get the job done for sure.
Yep.
In hand diggers, it's probably the best on the market, I'd say.
And what I do with every shovel is to make sure that the steel is hardened to where I want it to be. I pound concrete pavers with it, and bricks. So I literally just get up, have them outside my shop, and I just am pounding this edge into the brick or concrete pavers, whatever's not broken up too much that I can test it on. And then I check the edge to see if it's retained the edge and staying sharp and no deflections and things like that. And, you know, that's the extra, you know, I go the extra mile on these things, and it's the materials I'm using are expensive, and that's why they're priced like they are. A lot of people, they say, you know, I got a shovel for $15. And they say that like neener, but it's not. It's the thing is if what's going to happen is, and then the other thing is they have a Legend or a Manticore or a Deus 2 that they're using to metal detect. So it's like buying a really nice car and putting the cheapest tires you can find on it.
Right.
But you know, but what the difference is with mine is these are fully customizable. I can fit a shovel to you, to your needs, to your abilities, and that's the difference between going and buying a cheap shovel, because it's going to take 5 and could even take 10 to last as long as one of my shovels. So
Yeah, that you buy it once is what I always say, Casey.
Right.
You
Right.
buy it once and you don't have to worry about a break-in. They buy that $15 shovel, and Joe and I have both seen it. People come in and they say, "Oh, I broke my shovel. I need to get a good one."
Right. And the other thing is with that shovel, if you had a clone of yourself and had one of my shovels fit to you and had yourself with your shovel, like your $15 shovel, you will dig. It's easier to dig, and your recovery speed will be faster. And being that it's ergonomically fit to you, it's going to be easier to use. So your recovery speed will be faster than just buying a generic shovel. And the other thing is for the 5 years, 5 years after you purchase it, is if you're willing to pay the shipping costs, I'll re-powder coat it and check the structural integrity as many times as you want.
Yeah, you can't beat that. And it's like I said, you mentioned recovery speed. I always talk about that on scoops, but I never thought with shovels it's the same thing. Diggers, if you can get your target faster, you know, if you do 10 more targets in a day, then that 10 target might be the hot one, the good one, or the like you, the key date kid might be the key date point. Could be.
Yeah. And I've had the sun setting on me, and I'm, you know, just trying to dig as many targets I can. I've been out there for 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours even. And it's the last 5 minutes I'm there, I pull like the most epic thing. And that's the thing, is don't ever let your mind beat you. Stay persistent. Keep your confidence up. It's out there. It's underneath. Just the next target could be just an incredible thing, an incredible relic, an incredible coin or token. That's what it's all about. That's what drives me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always tell our customers when they come in, you know, the metal detector is awesome, and you learn your machine, but the tools that you use in the field, be it beach hunting or land hunting, you have the right tool. It makes your job a lot easier. That is period right there. It really does.
Right.
You have the right tools. That's for sure.
I had someone telling me they had a different brand of shovel, and I think they weigh about 4.5 pounds, somewhere between 4 and 5 pounds. And they were out metal detecting and at an event, and Aqua Chigger was there. And they said his recovery, he would recover, 2 or 3 targets before I'd recover one. And, like Joe's saying, it's a weight thing. When you have a nice light shovel, these things are pretty light for being all metal, that you can recover things faster because the fatigue doesn't set in as fast.
Right.
Yeah, and we did have a question from Mark Trailer. He had asked, any plans for making a sand scoop? I think we had this one before.
You know, since I'm in Utah, and you know, Great Salt Lake smells really bad, and there's mosquitoes out there that are really bad. I just I like to something, if I can perfect it, I'll get into it. But a scoop is, it's just so unfamiliar for me. If I was to do something, it just wouldn't be I couldn't tune it like I've done the shovels. I don't use it enough.
Right. Yeah, it'd be different if you were living on the coast and you could use it. You would realize that's why your shovels are so good. It's because you use them metal detecting and you know what it needs to be. So I understand that. We had that question before, and I think a lot of people are looking for something super strong and lightweight, but we have the titanium scoops. And there's let's see, the other big manufacturer was Stealth, and they're, I think, no longer around. So that's probably why he's asking. Martin Bishop here says, when you make a great product for the user, it is a damn good thing. I do understand how you have so much pride in it. What is the what are your latest finds? So let's hear about some finds.
Okay, let's show you. So last time I was on, I found the same thing, but it's so epic. And I just found another one, and it's my third barber $50, and it's tough to see it there. You can see the head, see that head coming through.
Yep.
1911 with the S Mint mark barber $50.
Sweet. Anytime big silver is cool. Really.
It's incredible. It was, so I went to a ghost town, and I literally, it was with the first 15 minutes I was there. And it usually takes hours and hours because you have to do things that other people haven't done to find stuff. But it was like I went like on a straight line right to it. And it was just amazing. It felt like a miracle. I thought someone was playing a joke on me. I thought someone planted something and I was going to like pull it out, and it was going to be like a cereal box, you know, token or one of those aluminum things. Another one we got here might be difficult to see. I got this the same day right here. 1867 shield nickel.
Yeah, I could see the shield on it.
Without rays.
I think I've only found one shield nickel. I think it was in 1865, I believe.
They're amazing. I believe they're the first 5-cent denomination nickel that the United States produced.
Yeah, those are cool finds.
And we got some really cool tokens that I've come across lately, confectionery tokens, good for a treat. And then I've got a billiards one that's really rare to find. So yeah, it's all about, if I'm not making shovels, if I get caught up on shovels, I am going metal detecting. Yeah, I am. Like, I just look forward to my next time metal detecting, and making the shovels is it's up there with the pleasure for me. But you know, metal detecting, you just never know. You could have a life changing find come out of the ground, and it's just it just is the best. It's a great thing to be optimistic about.
Absolutely. And it looks like we've got a question from Prospecting Mules. Can you put logos or wording on your shovel?
No, not right now. I do have like stamping, I can stamp it. But in the future, possibly. The stamping there's like a fee. I think it's like $10. But if you have if you're an influencer or have a YouTube channel, you just write me in the notes or write me through one of the Instagram, Facebook, any of those, and ask me to tell me you're an influencer or you want your account, your YouTube channel, whatever it is, and I'll do that for free for you.
Well, cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So tell us about the tokens you found.
Yeah, I found them out of state, and my friend, he's a town marshal. So if there's less than 100 people that live in a town, then it's not a sheriff. You're a they appoint a town marshal, and I went with him, and I found a token, and he hadn't found anything. And I like to share the wealth. You know, I like everybody to leave that I go with feeling like they won. So I called him over. I was like, "Get over here, Mike. Get over here. You know, there's stuff over here." And he came over, and he was just kind of like, he didn't want to like come into my area where I, found these things. I'm like, "No, you get in here and swing." And he kind of just doesn't really, he doesn't go all out like you normally do. And so I go back over it, and another two tokens come out of the ground, and he's obsessed with the town we were in. So he's like, "I've never seen anybody dig up these. I've never seen these come out of the ground here. I've never seen this." And so it was pretty cool. And being that it's good for one treat, what was that treat? I asked my dad. He said a peppermint stick. Also, you could maybe find a. I think they had chocolate foam back then, and I don't know what chocolate foam is. I'm sure some of y'all do. I've just seen it in the old newspaper articles from 1900 to 1915.
Interesting. So it
Mhm.
looks like we got a question from Andrew T's Andrew's Adventures. How far do you go to detect the ghost towns? How far do
You
you
know,
drive, I guess?
yeah. I mean, I like to go downtown Salt Lake, but if I'm going to a ghost town, it's usually going to be an hour and a half to 3 hours away. Sometimes I drive 4 or 5 hours, just because I want to get way off the grid, go to the places that the hardest places to get to, because the least amount of people are going to go to them. So
Right.
I'll do that. And I love to find new places and go out and research them and study the history. And then I like to go out there, detect it, and prove the history that I've read about. Find something related to it. It's such a neat experience.
All right, Casey. Well, this one is from Luis Villarreal. What detector are you currently using?
Yeah, so I'm currently using the Manticore,
Okay.
and that thing. So I've been hitting this ghost town for probably about close to 4 or 5 years now, with my Equinox 800. And I'd found silver dimes and Indian heads, wheat cents, like things like that out there. But when I took I don't know what it is, that machine, why it's so much better. But I took that out, and I found two silver barber quarters out there last year with my Manticore, and one standing key date. I think it's a 26S SLQ quarter. So I found three silver quarters out there, and then I found the silver barber half last time, and the biggest silver I'd found out there with my Equinox was a dime. So there's something's different with that machine. It's an amazing machine, and I love it.
Yeah. And what coil are you currently using on there?
The coil.
Yes.
Yeah. So incredibly, so I'm a small coil guy, and small coils are superb for ghost towns because so many people with metal detected them. You have to go to the trashy areas where things are masked to find the goods. And small coil tends to work better, but that Manticore, it seems to focus in on non-ferrous, as opposed to the Equinox just lets everything hit through the range. And I like to adjust, I like to turn down that iron volume a little bit, but I can still hear it, because if I'm hearing a ton, then I'll turn the sensitivity down. If I'm not hearing anything, then I'll turn the sensitivity up. And the coil So that was that barber half I just showed you. This barber half was I maybe dug up like 2 pieces of garbage before that, but it was the first thing, basically the first thing I dug up with the 9-inch coil.
Yeah,
So I got the 9-inch.
that's an awesome coil on 9.
It is. It's amazing. That thing is amazing. And it's kind of a great in-between size because it's going to get great depth compared to a 6-inch or the 5x8. And I don't know, the circular coils, I seem to do better with them over the, elliptical shaped or oval shaped coils. But that 9-inch, you guys, I can't believe it. I have the 5x8 and I'll take that 9-inch any day over that in the ghost town. And I don't know if it's just the Manticore focuses on better on non-ferrous and how you can adjust it and whatnot. But yeah, that machine, I cannot deny that it's an amazing machine. I love it. And if you're an experienced metal detectorist, it's a great machine to try. If you're just getting into metal detecting, I always say start with something that has the basic things on it, like discrimination, sensitivity, maybe a target ID, and there's just the basics on it. Get those down, and you're going to dig more targets with it because you know less. But then when you get the more advanced detector, then you have the basis, you have the foundation for the other things, the next options that come on the more advanced detectors, and it's easier to incorporate them when you have that basis for the main thing: sensitivity, ground balance, target ID, discrimination, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew T says you need to try the Miftech 18-inch coil for the Manticore. Have you seen that one?
I haven't.
I mean, I've got one. Where's it at, Joe?
It's
Oh, it's real?
it's in the back.
I thought it was just a myth.
No, it's huge. One thing about using that particular coil, you definitely will build up your forearms and biceps.
Right. You're right. That's the one. Oh my gosh.
That's a huge. That would be tough, and I'm like you, Casey. I like the smaller coils.
If you get a flat tire out there, you could put that on.
Yes.
And use it as a spare.
Yes, it's a good coil. It's a deep coil, but it's it's. I guess I'm too old for it. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and the thing is I like to dig. If targets are really deep and you're digging really deep targets all day, the recovery time it starts to eat up your day. So just being lower in sensitivity, going into trashy areas, that's one of my favorite tactics. But that barber half, it was 3 notches deep on the Manticore. So I don't know if that is 6 inches deep or 369, 6 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's it was probably about 5-6 inches deep, and in a ghost town, you'll probably get about 20 to 30 like clear bangers, like coin bangers a day. But in a ghost town, it takes probably 100 of those. You have to dig 100. You get 100 clear bangers for every coin you get. So most of the time, it's just a piece of big blob of lead or some aluminum or tin cans, things like that out there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hey, we did have a comment from Double G Diggs, and he says, one request I'd love to see, where did it go? I'd love to see more Key Day Kid videos. You do an awesome job with your videos.
I appreciate that. I love doing it. And I kind of have that, I got that treasure fever. So I probably have a dozen videos to put together, but I like to get over the spot before I put the video up. So because some people will get an idea of where I'm going and they'll go out there. Sometimes I've been in spots in my videos and found stuff, and I went out there like the couple days after I released the video and they were dug up. Like they knew exactly where I was, and they went to town there. So I like to wait a little bit, but I get so busy making shovels that by the time my day's done, I'm most of the time my days finish up between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. It's a 10 hour day, 12-hour day of work. So, you just get done working and you're just like, I want to lay down and watch some YouTube videos, not make it. But we'll be getting we got a bunch more to go here. And yeah, I'm finally getting over a few of these spots where I've really gone to town on them. So I'll be showing those videos too.
Hey, Sam Truckley was asking if the Manticore folds down smaller like the Legend or the Deus too, and mine doesn't because I've got a historic leg shaft on mine, but the normal stock shaft does fold down like the Equinox 900. They get real small, and it makes it easier to transport, don't you think, Casey?
Yeah, it does. I haven't seen too many Legends and Deus in person, so when people shrink them down, I don't know the exact lengths and whatnot. The Manticore, you can, I mean, maybe it's 2 feet, something like that. You can shrink it down to.
Yeah, it gets real small. I don't know the exact figure.
Probably like 20 inches.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I don't know about the other machines, but I'm not biased or anything. I'm open to, like trying any machines out. Just, you never know what tactical edge you could get with trying out a different machine.
Yeah, that Manticore, we've been selling a lot of those in the shop. People like the display on it. It's to me is bar none.
Yes,
From any of the
display.
other manufacturers. It's really cool. It's a really neat machine. Is it a entry level machine? No. We do have other detectors in the shop that we could fit you in with a entry level. But if you want a machine that is, I think it's going to be really, really dependable, and I think it's very simplified. What do you think, Casey? Don't you think it's a simple machine? You just got to learn that graph. Once you get that graph down packed, you're in good shape. That's for sure.
Yeah. And the one thing I do love about it is I'm always dinking around with the sensitivity in the trash. If I'm turning it up, and turning it down. And what's going on here? And yeah, so thing I love about the Manticore is the sensitivity. You can adjust it without losing your target ID numbers. So as you're going along, you like the Equinox, you have to go to another screen to change the volume. So or the sensitivity. You have to go to a different screen to change the sensitivity. And on the Manticore, it's just a little number over on the left side. So you're like, okay, yeah, and crank it up, turn it down, and you still got your target ID up, and you don't have that slight delay in time going through the options. That's one thing I really like about it.
Yeah, that process was really, really fast.
Yeah. I think the detectors today compared to what we're using even 10 years ago are just incredible. The technology.
They are. They are.
The depth they get. It's just awesome. Hey, were we going to give away a swag pack today?
Yeah, Phil, let's give away a swag pack.
Yeah, you weren't doing anything, were you, Casey?
What?
Were you doing a giveaway? Not to put you on the spot, we were going to do one of ours.
Not to put you on the spot, but
yeah, that's what I was trying to call Jeff about, because I wanted to do a special giveaway.
Okay, well, what did you have in mind?
Well, I wanted to fit a shovel to somebody.
Okay. So we're going to do it.
The winner gets that. We'll talk through it either through the chat, or they can call one of our phones, and we go through it, probably usually through the chat, and we figure out the right spade, handle, color, and we fit them a shovel, just to give an example to everybody of how specific we can get with these things.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put hashtag Excalibur is the best. Or let's just make it hashtag Excalibur because somebody will mess it up. And then let's start collecting comments. All right. So am I still here?
Yeah, you're there. Casey's there, and I'm here, but we don't see the
Let me see if I can.
the Excalibur hashtag Excalibur on the screen.
Okay, let me see here. Bummer. Let me try this again. I may not be able to do it. Back. All right.
Because some people are doing the hashtag Excalibur in all caps. Some people are doing it with the E capitalized. Some are just doing it hashtag all
And please,
lowercase.
it drives me crazy when people spell Excalibur with an ER. It is
Excalibur. Correct?
Yeah,
yes.
right there behind Casey.
Okay, now I just
In
got
case y'all wonder how it's spelled,
Medieval times. Medieval times.
I'd like to find some medieval treasure.
Yeah.
Get over to England.
Is it in the background? Is it? Yeah, it's right behind. It's right behind you, Casey. For everybody who doesn't know how to spell, so it looks like we're doing it. Hopefully, I'm doing this right. Yeah.
It's like spelling someone's name wrong, you know? Like,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
so
I
informal.
would be upset too, Casey.
I think as long as it's spelled, it doesn't matter if it's all caps or up or lower. I think as long as it's, yeah. So that's cool. So Casey, are you doing any? You're out in Salt Lake City, right?
Correct.
So are you doing do you do any local hunts or the big hunts? You do any of those?
There's some like gatherings through like our Utah Metal Detecting Facebook page, but there's not really any metal detecting events. I know there's one in Colorado that Ken King and Anthony do, or they're involved with. But there really isn't one in Utah. The club, we have the club where we have, small little events. Like we'll have a picnic once a year where we do the seated hunt, and you can find the tokens with the numbers, and you get a prize attached to that number. So you can get some really cool stuff that way for the club.
Well, awesome.
But I am going to attend, a couple more events next year, and because I'm going to attend the Show Me in Missouri, and that Kadoha one I wanted to go to that this year, but it takes me so darn long to make these shovels. I'm just obsessed with, I don't want to screw up. So it takes me a long time. So it's tough to get a lot of inventory built up. And the other thing is the metal is so expensive. It's tough to get inventory built up.
Have you noticed the metals they keep going up, or are they leveled off? Since the pandemic and all this inflation.
Yeah, they've been going up, and it's it's tougher to do this. And I mean, Jeff and Phil, they know what the sacrifices I've made to do this. And it's not easy, but the price of all the materials, powder coat, spool, welding wire, it's all gone up. It used to be $50 for a spool, and at the local stores, and now it's $75. So it's getting expensive, and we just gotta only try to get the bare necessities from China, and then invest in American companies. And then if we get more industry here and we have more industry in this country, then the costs for me go down, and then I would happily pass them along to the customers. If we can get more industry in this country, get more of these materials here, and be a beautiful thing for all of us.
That's why I got my shirt with my "I voted today" sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see here. I'm trying to do the drawing and I can't figure out how to get it on the screen. Darn it.
Yep, but there are some. She's Angie is saying American spellings are different from English spellings. Yep, I do have a fair amount of people in England using my shovels, like Team Pollard metal detecting, and a few other ones. So it's really cool to send an Excalibur to a possible Excalibur homeland.
Good. I don't know if I did that or not. No, that's not doing it. Oh, goodness. Stop sharing. It's not that easy. Jocelyn's over there telling me how to do it, and it's not. Excalibur. Choose the live stream. DJ Kid. Start collecting. It just shows draw, but it doesn't show put it on the screen. Oh, wait a minute.
And another thing is I don't do a lot of giveaways myself, just because it's all very expensive.
It's very pricey. But
being that Phil has invested in me and supported me, Phil is paying for this dang near as much as I am giveaway. So
is it going? Winner is Richard Pelkey. It was spinning there, but I couldn't get it on the screen quick enough. But there's our winner right there. So you know what you have,
Richard.
Yeah. So Jeff does this perfectly. One day I'll have mastered it, just not today. And so now let's.
Congratulations, Richard.
Yes.
Where are you at? Are you in the chat here?
He must be in the chat or he wouldn't be a winner because you have to be in the chat. So there you send your information to us at treasuretalkshow@gmail.com and we'll forward to Casey at Excalibur or go to Casey's website and we'll do it. Yes. So I did that, Josh. So I figured that part out. All right. So now we're going to stop sharing that. And there we are. We're back. So we got it done. Awesome.
Right on.
So
right on.
Yeah, now is our season actually for the shovels, Casey, because now the weather is starting to get cool for us, so we can start doing the dirt digging. Because it's so hard especially if you're older, to be out in that hot Florida sun and 100% humidity digging relics. You're mostly on the beach up until October. Now we have the cool days, and I got some compliments, Jocelyn said, for doing a nice job. Almost got it on the whole screen.
You got a comment over here that says, Phil, take 2 weeks off and then quit altogether.
Oh, my friend, you're too funny, Joe. But so
do it.
You can do it, Phil. Every week, the same treatment, but every week.
Hey, that's what familia is for. Familia is for.
Casey, when Joe comes to work, I'm going to hit him in the head with this.
Yeah.
Boom.
Short sword.
Yes. This makes a nice defensive tool too.
Yeah, they do. And they've been really popular, the Sax diggers. People love them. I shipped a couple today, actually. So It's a great in between shovel if you want to be, you know, inconspicuous in the park, but still want to get a deeper target in the park as opposed to like a probe. A sax digger is excellent for that. And if you're nice and tidy with it, and it's okay to be doing that in your parks or wherever you're digging, you'll have no issues with people kicking you off and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and I like the T handle. I like because you can put that holster, the shovel holster
Right.
on, and it just, you know, you got your hands free all the time. So that makes it.
Tell the quality on that shovel. The actual T handle is solid. There's no in between.
Oh,
Yeah, there's so I cap them all. You know, it takes that, it adds. There's so many little tasks in making a shovel for me, but I cap the ends of the handles so that they don't fill with debris, and those are actually packed with vibration dampening material in the handles. If you guys ever were to cut one open, you would see it. But I fill them with that so it dampens vibrations, and then I cap them so that they don't fill up with dirt. And then you put it in your car, and then your car has a clod of dirt in it, and your house, and then your wife, mom, girlfriend, whoever gets mad at you for bringing dirt in.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's an awesome shovel, and I know the customers who bought them from me love them. So keep up the good work. But it looks like our hour is almost gone.
Yeah, it's flown by.
It always does.
When you got good quality guests on here.
Yeah,
Quality,
yes, the time goes too quick for sure. But I did want to share what Ian Aiken said. The detecting family is a special and loving bunch. And I think that too, because often, I mean, we find cool treasures all the time, but the most important treasure is the people we meet along the way at the hunts, for sure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because we just, that's the real and true treasure that we find, for sure. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, Casey, and thank you for doing the drawing. And the gentleman who won, which I've had his name here a second ago, I'm sure he is going to get a nice shovel. Hey, yeah, he could get the camo. That is awesome. I like that D handle you got there too.
Cool.
That's nice. That's really cool. We'll have to order some of those for the shop, Joe.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you thank you, Casey. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jocelyn. And thank you to our many members on here on Treasure Talk, YouTube, and Facebook, and wherever else Jeff has us streaming to, because he goes to, I think, 2 or 3 different places that I don't know. But I'll leave it to you now, Joe. And then we'll to Casey.
Thank you, Casey, for coming on. It's a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
Yeah,
you got
appreciate you too, Joe.
Yeah, you got some quality products, and everybody that comes in the shop that is looking for a shovel, you're the first go-to. That's for sure.
Right on.
Definitely don't want to sell them something from the far east, if you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly. You get to, there's no nets around my shop. No. If you know what I mean.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, so thank you again, Casey. We appreciate you, and thank you for coming on and doing the show with us and sharing your expertise and your treasure hunting of ghost towns and tokens and key dates for that matter. So thank you. And with that, folks, I'm going to say happy hunting and dig deeper.
Good night, everyone.